Well, I think the most symptomatic people among us, especially the ones who become the most violent, the most exploitive, the most kind of nihilistic, they are actually, and I talk about this, and I don't think this is common knowledge to people who aren't familiar with the world of
Yeah,
psychology. They're symptoms bearers for the ills of their family and the
mm,
ills of the larger family systems they're a part of.
yeah,
People are not born murderers. They're
yeah,
not born rapists.
yeah,
Something happens to them
yeah,
that has them blow up later in their personal relations. And
yeah,
the point that I make in my book is if your car engine blows, we're on it. If your computer dies, we're on it. If your
yeah.
phone is working, we're on it. But when a person blows, we blame them instead of really looking for what caused them to blow.
Hmm. Hmm.
And and that's really where I think the whole world of psychology has something so valuable to offer.
Offer, yeah.
Would it be easy to implement? No, because
Mm,
when people come to therapy and they're used to believing what they're believing, that person's wrong and bad, and I have a right to shout, or I have a right to hit, or I have a right to slam the door in their face.
yeah.
That has to be undone. But
Mm,
how it gets undone is really working with what set them up to believe
yeah.
that it was okay. And you talk about that in your own life.
Yeah. And there's somebody just sent this question in, Ernie, our producer, passed it on to me. There's a viewer question. Technology has stripped our kids of all their spare time. Reading a book seems to have taken a backseat to chatting on the phones, computers. How do we get our time back?
Mhm. Well, I think it starts with each one of us.
Yeah.
I think that's the only place to start. It starts with the parent who says, this really isn't good for you. The technology is highly addictive. It can be very valuable. We can get great information. We can make incredible connections like you and I are doing right now, and it can also be highly destructive. So
Mm,
it takes people calling this out. It takes people researching the effects. It takes one parent at a time saying it's time to get off your phone. You need to
yeah.
read a book or go outside and play, or let's take a hike. And it goes back to what I said before. Just because we can do something doesn't mean we should. And I
Mm,
think of all of this as the food we're eating.
mm,
You and I probably don't want to eat toxic food. We don't want to
right.
eat with a lot of chemicals in it. We want to eat, as organic or healthy as we possibly can. And what we're taking in from other people, from social media, from the world around us, from the
Mm,
news, from what's going on in our school or our place of work, that's all part of what we're digesting.
yeah.
And responsible people who, have some kind of, awareness in themselves want that food to be healthy. We want
Mm.
our human relations environment to be healthy food, just like the food we eat. And that means we might have to change our diet.